Christina and Patrick's 10-year-old son, Alex, has finally got a bedroom of his own, away from his younger brothers.
I've always been staying with my brothers for so long, and they are a bit annoying sometimes.
But right now, this spare room he's moved into is a little bit too much boy.
I smell dirty socks.
The room that's there right now, it's been on and off, just an odds and ends kind of room.
We have lots of toys in there, and we set up a desk, but it's basically been underutilized.
Okay, right off the top, I see a few issues. We have a giant ceiling fan highlighting a stucco ceiling, the arch-top window shrouded by these blue and red corduroy drapes.
Yeah, a lot of things to correct.
We need storage, we need a proper bed.
First, let's take some measurements.
Oh, we've got almost 15 feet. 12.
12 by 15 is a good size.
That is a big room for a small child.
It's a great room in terms of the ceiling height. It's got a cathedral ceiling.
10'7". Wow.
We really, are kind of scratching our heads as to how to make this one better.
The clues are telling me he's into computers, cards, and some nursery-themed sheets. So I'm getting some mixed messages.
Alex is a budding geek, just like his dad.
He absolutely loves astronomy. He loves music.
He loves to read, and he'll sit back and read for hours.
This is a kid who's going from, all of these little stuffed animals to music and sports and things like that.
If I'm looking around at this room, I'm thinking, no, 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 no. Just no, and strip it.
I don't think that this kid is really necessarily looking for anything themey, right? Like, we know it's not going to be cartoons.
The one thing that I know is that he's into music. Like, is there a way that we can extract some sort of motif from music without it being completely ridiculous?
I don't know. I really don't know.
What we do know is that we want to create a room to transition from boy to young man, come up with custom solutions for the room's unique features, and provide storage for hobbies and minimize clutter.
I don't have children. It's been a long time since I was this kid's age, so I actually think that neither of us know what the hell we're doing. Okay?
So, we're consulting with the real expert.
I've got a letter here from Alex telling us exactly what he would like in his room.
And we've asked two members of our design team, Lindsay and Michael, to help find a direction.
Oh my gosh, look at how cute this is. Look at the writing. Dear Sarah and Tommy, I'm 10 years old and I have two younger brothers who always follow me around.
Sometimes I like to be alone, and they just don't listen to me, I guess, really.
The room I have now is okay, in capitals, but the closet's small, so there's no room for my stuff.
I'd like a place to put all my books.
It would be cool if I had a real bed instead of a mattress. It would also be humane. Could you help me design a room that complements my love of music? Sincerely, Alex.
Okay, so from this, what do you think our direction should be?
I would say we need to do something that's kind of like the collegiate varsity vibe with a little bit of a nod to the music. Think of like a football stripe on a cello.
I know football.
You know football players.
Yes.
When I first heard that he loved music,
Yeah.
my idea was some great wallpaper that is sheet music. Then I was thinking the night sky. Then I started thinking he's a smart kid. Maybe we should do the wall of books.
Right. Reflects his studious nature.
I think it's important to design this and decorate it in a way that will endure for at least another decade. So Michael's on a not-so-focused hunt for wallpaper.
On the hunt for wallpaper. No, no, no. Perfect.
Wallpaper, wallpaper, wallpaper!
Wallpaper laboratory.
And he's come back with plenty of options.
There's a nice looking star
Yes.
That's nice.
And then this is my one and only find for sheet music wallpaper. It's a giant mural. It's not cheap. It costs about $700 for that. And we'd need a few. No.
Sorry, Alex, but music is out for the wallpaper. It's down to stars or books. We love the color of the books, but they cost $350 a roll, and the stars only cost $150.
This seems to be the least expensive, the most dynamic. We can certainly bring the music in some other way. And if it's just a one-note wall covering, can we not add color in our bedding, in our built-ins, in our
100%.
carpet, in our chair?
I forgot to tell you both about the best feature. That wallpaper, those little stars,
Yeah.
Glow in the dark.
Oh, that's it, we're done. Really?
They do.
I have to see for myself. Close that door.
Wow. It glows in the dark.
I think a wallpaper that references a starry night sky, it takes you to another world. And we all need a little of that in our life. Except for Tommy. He's already in a world of his own. Our plan for Alex's world consists of a desk and a chair on the wall by the door, a comfortable lounge chair under the window for reading, a dresser on the opposite wall, and a bed on the far wall. Speaking of bed, Alex deserves more than just a mattress on the floor. I'd like to give him a custom-made double bed with plenty of built-in storage.
Look at this. Here's what I'm thinking. So if we could use something that, like 2 towers, join those towers with some sort of a board.
Okay.
Maybe we create a back instead of something upholstered, maybe it's wood.
To start on that cool headboard for Alex's bed, we need 2 storage towers. We just have to figure out how to pass through this high-tech entranceway first.
That's good storage.
Expensive.
Then there's this option.
Yeah. Looks a little harsh to me.
But this one looks good and solid for adding on to, and it's at a good price.
Totally in.
I'll take 2.
Back at the office,
Hey, Sarah, I've got your beadboard.
Okay, great.
to hide that ugly stucco on the cathedral ceiling, I have an idea. Rather than stripping it all off, we'll cover it with inexpensive beadboard panels.
This material is actually available as sheet goods.
Oh.
So you can get it in a 4x8 sheet.
It will go up quickly and call attention to the ceiling's shape and height. And we can cover the joints with flat stock material. And as a great design tie-in, we're using this same beadboard to connect the bookcases that make up Alex's custom-made headboard with trim and a little bit of molding. Amazing! I sure hope Alex agrees.
I can't wait to have my own room.
Christina and Patrick need their 10-year-old son's new bedroom to be a place for him to grow up.
I don't want to see the room become too juvenile.
I just want to have a bed in there.
As for Alex, he just wants some privacy from his younger brothers.
They are a bit annoying sometimes.
We put the music theme away for now in favor of the night sky.
Those little stars glow in the dark.
Oh, that's it, we're done.
And we put beadboard on the ceiling and on the headboard to dress up his custom-designed bed. Now to design some coverings for those huge archtop windows. We've come up with 2 options.
So option A is just Romans on 3 windows, square it off, simple treatment. And option B is Roman blind in the center for some structured and drape panels on the side.
I think it has to be option A. I mean, I feel pretty strongly that the square lines of the 3 Romans, those soldiers, feels a lot more masculine than having long flowy drapes on either side of the Roman.
So Roman blinds, black outlining. All right, there it is.
Next is the fabric. We want blue and green varsity colors for Alex, and we want it in a collegiate pattern like plaid. If only we could find it. Aha! 3 options.
What do you think?
This is gonna be stiff as a Roman.
Did you just say stiff as a Roman?
No, I'm just wondering, when you try and turn it into a Roman blind, isn't it gonna get so thick that it doesn't pull up nicely?
And really
Whereas,
bunch.
look at how beautifully this folds.
Great, done.
All right?
So the softest one wins for our window treatments.
Yeah.
Now, let's see how the room's coming along.
Wow, you know what this room needs?
Window treatments.
Black outlining. Oh, look at the ceiling.
Wow, gorgeous.
What this room needs is color. We've chosen options based on our plaid.
Nice, love it.
It's just a matter of deciding what goes where.
That says boy to me.
Okay, we're decided.
Let the day of painting begin. Pale blue on the ceiling, dark blue on the top half of the wall, pale gray on the bottom, and a green varsity-inspired stripe under the chair rail and in the headboard. To top it all off, out comes the night sky. But we need furniture. The dresser, the comfortable lounge chair, and
Desks.
Alex's old desk was not functional and not his own.
I have to share the desk with my brothers, like everything else.
What about this one?
Oh, I love that desk.
$8.95. It's been refinished, but you can still tell it's vintage. There are a bunch of desks over here. These are not in great condition. They haven't been refinished like the other one has been.
Right. So $6.95 for that one.
This desk is $13.95. However, it has great storage, right?
Right.
Amazing drawer space, All kinds of cool little features.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
been refinished.
This is not an inexpensive desk, but I think it's worth every penny, and this is something you'll have for a lifetime. And Michael's found a possible chair for the desk.
I just pulled up your email, and I gotta say, this is exactly the kind of thing we need. I mean, after all, this is the original ergonomic chair.
We've got ergonomic, but how about cosmic? A light for the cathedral ceiling needs to work with the night sky wallpaper. How about the solar system?
Isn't it exactly the right thing?
Well, because you have the flexibility of what kind of bulbs you want to use. So you can use the mercury bulbs, you can use plain bulbs, you can use pointy bulbs. I mean, really?
Of course, Tommy has his eye on the most expensive one.
I want that.
If money were no object, of course I'd go vintage. Just a little bit worried about the dollars and cents.
All right. You hand something over to me completely, and you could end up broke.
Do you like this?
I do like that quite a bit. Whoa, that's really cool.
All right, so I think we've got 3 options.
Okay.
There's a 60s reproduction for $250, a vintage 70s for almost $1,000, or the lunar fixture for about $350.
I don't know what the right answer is.
So we go to Michael,
Right.
the youngest member of our design team, to help us decide what's best for a boy.
I love that one.
Now, why do you like that one?
Well, this one's a little more unusual for me. I haven't seen that before.
And Michael also points out that because it's not chrome, it will complement the desk better. Now for that lounge chair I want to put under the window.
Okay, well, what you got here is your basic antique or antique-ish rocking chair. You get the skirt and the extra cushion, no charge.
Maybe for someone else. How about this green number for how much? Or there's this other green chair over here.
Okay, would you ever put that in a kid's room?
I don't know, maybe, but it looks like a jujube.
Okay, yeah, that did it for me. Never mind.
Okay, so no lounge chair yet, and we still don't have any music inspiration. But we've got the ergonomic desk chair, the industrial desk, the lunar lamp, and the traditional plaid fabric. What's not to love?
A little bit too Scottish for me, I think.
It originates in Scotland, but we're gonna use it in a really cool varsity vibe way.
And we're not gonna make this kid start playing the bagpipes. I promise.
I prefer the color palette from the Caribbean.
So Patrick thinks it's a good idea for us to design a Rastafarian room for his kid.
But the only opinion that matters is this one.
My favorite color is green, so I like that because there's green in it.
And since Alex likes it, we're going with that plaid for the Roman blinds. And we're using it to make a kilt for the bed. In other words, a bed skirt. As for the sheets,
Michael has sourced bedding for us, and I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that I think he's hinting at a striped bed story. Okay? This is what he came back with.
Michael, what do you think for bedding? I don't know. I'm thinking, do you want a narrow stripe, a slightly wider stripe, or a big wide stripe? I think a wide stripe is nice.
Oh, look at that.
And they're cotton, and I think it's kind of jaunty and varsity. Agreed?
Agreed. What's the thread count on
you
these
want
things?
some-
It doesn't seem too high.
What do you mean, what's the thread count? It's not always about the thread count. It's about how it washes and how it feels.
When I was 10 years old, I cared about my thread count. Just saying.
Okay, well, I like stripes. I like all the colors we've got. Most of these seem to go, I'm yes to all this.
Okay,
This
so this
is
is our
yes.
little package.
Yes, mix and mix.
Great.
Thread count at 10, please.
I'll see you later.
the next piece of furniture we need is a dresser.
That could definitely work.
So we sent out Mairead from our design team to source some options.
This is a cool piece, and it's already black, so we wouldn't have to spray it. And the feet really remind me of the feet that we're staining ebony and putting on the bed. I like this one.
And that's exactly why we'd go with that dresser. The feet really do look almost like our ready-made bed feet, a little detail that makes a decision easy. For something personal and a little varsity for Alex, I've got a little do-it-yourself sewing project for Tommy. Except that Tommy can't sew.
So if you were really into designer high thread count sheets as a child, were you also into the quality of all sewn goods?
I want to make a personalized pillow.
I have a confession to make, though.
What?
I can't iron either.
Oh, what are you doing here? Let's see if you're good with a pair of scissors.
How's that look?
That looks great. How about some iron-on stars?
Those are great.
Add a little heat and voila, a varsity-style crest.
I could put that on a cape, you know? Super Tommy.
But it's probably better suited on a pillow, so I sew.
Almost done. Look at that.
Just a few fluffs and check it out.
Really nicely done, Sarah.
Now back to the furniture. We still need that reading chair for under the window.
It's too serious.
It's too serious and it's too much money. It's $2,300, so that's just not happening.
Could we do something like this in our boys' bedroom? I mean, it kind of has, I know it's a crazy chair, but it kind of has the varsity colors in it, doesn't it?
All of them. Take a pick.
I'm gonna show this to Michael. He'll understand.
Sure.
Turns out that Michael has something for Tommy to see as well.
This could totally work.
Perfect.
We'll show this to Sarah tomorrow.
She'll love it.
That's the chair. The room's coming together. We're on to the final installations. A little bit of this, a little bit of that, a couple of those, and yes, very nice. And everything goes in. The desk? No, not yet. The blinds? The desk.
It's so close.
No, wait a minute. The musical instruments.
I never played in a band, in case you hadn't figured it out.
Hey, Alex asked for it in his letter, remember? The desk goes in, finally, and all the rest.
You know, it's a little trickier to straighten it when you're pulling it up as I'm doing my business.
It's a team effort.
We've got plaid on the curtains.
There.
And on the bed skirt.
It looks clean, it looks tailored, it looks neat, and hey, I think neat, clean, and tailored is a lot better suited to a 10-year-old than ruffles.
This room has been completely reimagined. It has been transformed from a blank, bland space into something with intricate detail, with a beadboard ceiling, with a custom-made bed, with fabulous wallpaper, interesting trim detail, dynamite window treatments, and a healthy dose of fun.
When I walked in the room, I was amazed at what Sarah and Tommy did.
I was like, wow, it's a really cool bedroom.
I would never have thought stripes and plaid and constellations would all fit together, but somehow all the colors, everything blends in really well. The best part was the ceiling.
A stippled popcorn ceiling is top of my list of things that need to be changed. In this case, we used beadboard paneling and covered all of the joints with flat stock material. It adds architectural interest and dramatically changed this ceiling from stippled to stunning.
The light fixture was kind of neat too. I thought, you know, it kind of reminded me of a disco ball that married a robot or something. So it was kind of neat.
The advantage with a wood slat blind is the louvers can be adjusted throughout the day to control the amount of light that comes into the room. Next, we added over top a Roman blind solution. The fabric adds softness, it adds pattern, and it gives additional texture.
The window coverings are great, but it was nice how everything was tied together.
I really like my bed because it's really soft compared to the mattress I used to use.
The whole bed baseboard was really kind of neat too. I think just the fact that it was all kind of built out and you had a lot of places to store stuff.
You can take an existing piece of furniture and transform it into something completely different.
2 shelves, a little bit of beadboard in between, tie it all up with a shelf and a crown molding, and you've got yourself a really cool kids headboard.
There's always a way to make the most of a special design element. By adding an accent stripe in the same color as the headboard, we now have a dynamic varsity appeal.
My favorite thing is probably the constellation wallpaper.
He loves the fact that he could sleep in the room and stare up at the stars.
It's almost as if I'm in outer space. And when I turn off the lights at night, the wallpaper actually glows in the dark.
It glows in the dark. How do you get cooler than that for a kid's bedroom?
My brothers are really envious of my new bedroom.
Now that they've seen that he has his room, they want one just as nice as that.
They sometimes just want to come in. They don't even knock. And sometimes I can keep them out, sometimes I can't. So I just get my mom to do it.
The room looks fantastic, and Alex really loves it.
Tommy and Sarah did a really great job. They achieved the goal of getting him into a place of his own, and I think he's happy with it. That's really what matters for me.
I love my bedroom. Thank you, Sarah and Tommy.
I hope this is a room that endures. I hope it's a room that Alex can grow up with. And I think there's 2 younger brothers waiting to have their rooms done next. Carlene got her Victorian dream house, but her kitchen is, well...
My kitchen. Now I'm starting to sweat.
Well, help is on the way.
I've been thinking of redesigning this kitchen from the moment I bought this house.
And what have we got?
We have got a time warp portal to the 80s.
It's pretty dated.
This house has a lot of period detail, but it's from different periods.
Look at that.
I know.
It's retro.
It has a lot of cupboards. 90% of them useless.
The doors are hanging off their hinges. Everything just looks awful. And there's some magic mushrooms.
There's too much of everything in all the wrong places. I think that sums it up.
This is a nice size, enough room for cooking and dining, but the layout needs a major rethink.
Yeah, I know what this means. This means you don't really like the flow here.
There's not that much prep space.
Whoever's working in this kitchen, I'm guessing, does everything right here.
I also think that it seems awkward to have this hallway space here. This is valuable real estate.
An island will be great in the kitchen.
Okay, rethink. Need to just shake it. You need to give it one of these. That's what needs to happen. And maybe while we're at it, let's get her a new blender.
Isn't that the best little house?
Great old house. We've got a house that's over 100 years old, but that doesn't mean you need to live in a period environment. So
Agreed.
I can kind of see doing best of the old, best of the new, and do something that's interesting and exciting for the next 100 years.
Like, I'm seeing all that red and cobalt blue.
Are you thinking of a colored kitchen?
Oh, no. I'm not thinking of colored cabinets or colored floors.
I've always loved white kitchen.
But an all-white kitchen might be too stark. We need some contrast. After all, her house has a very strong black and white vibe.
Definitely. We might be able to indulge in a little bit of color in terms of accents.
We'll update this kitchen while maintaining its history and charm. Create a practical new layout and use black and white with hits of color. But first,
The space needs a gut job.
Bring in the demolition crew.
and bring the noise. There's nothing worth saving in this kitchen. Everything must go. Sometimes, to get the best read on a space, it's got to be empty.
Oh, I love demo.
This is huge.
I love it. We have 11'4". Go deep. Must you hold it there?
Sorry, I was doing a different measurement.
Almost 11 and a half feet by 24 feet, sorry.
Right.
What if we stacked our functions along this wall here?
Yeah, because that's an alcove and not a traffic area, right?
Yeah. Don't you feel like it would be amazing if we could somehow anchor it? Like an island, something to differentiate that back part?
This kitchen, I've been here twice, and I still don't know what the I'm doing.
Can you tell we're getting nowhere?
This kitchen is tricky. We have to keep the range on the exterior wall for venting, but that means to get an island in the middle, we don't have space for 2 full runs of cabinets. But I will find a solution.
Allow me to walk you through it.
Okay.
You're gonna come in the door and the first thing you're gonna see is a nice large island.
To accommodate the island, we've opted to keep the space behind it open and put 2 tall pantries on either side. We still get lots of storage and great flow.
We can put the sink and the dishwasher in the island. Right behind that, we'll have the stove, the refrigerator, lots of counter space. Then a big long peninsula that's gonna act as the divider between the main kitchen area and the lounge. What color would you make the island?
Dark. Everything down low, I feel like needs to be dark.
So, white uppers and black lowers.
Keeps it simple.
That was so easy. This kitchen is gonna be a breeze.
Oh, sure it will.
It's a disaster.
Edwin, what's going on?
Yes, we have water coming into the house
Okay.
from the original exhaust vent.
So there was no seal put on that vent originally.
It's the interior seal that they put in.
That sounds completely stupid.
And then at some point, I think we had a mouse issue coming into the house.
So there's a rodent problem.
Yes. So right now, as it stands, we got to rip out all the drywall, all the insulation, and replace it with new. Plus, we got to seal the outside because there's major problems on the outside.
So what's this doing to our timeline?
Oh, we're delayed a week for sure.
At least a week.
Yeah.
It's not fun.
Oh, the joys of renovating a Victorian house.
Not only do we have a rodent infestation, ew, we also have a hole in the exterior of the house. We've got water getting in. We've got a house that isn't weather tight. This is not what anybody wants to hear when renovating.
Quite a shock.
Little tip from our exterminator, he says first you seal up the house and then you get rid of the furry friends, because it's kind of hard to get rid of furry friends permanently if you still have a hole in your home.
So we're sealing up the exterior with siding. Mice are bad on the budget.
And then we're going to pare back on the furnishings, the decorative finishing touches, and it's time to get really savvy with our spending.
That means taking a red pencil through the whole budget and making the most of off-the-shelf cabinets.
The design team sourced cabinet doors.
Yeah.
Cream and sort of black-brown.
Are they the same though?
They are the same-ish. They're options. These are available in 2 different tones. And then you've got your standard shaker door, which is not exactly white. I think that would have to be painted.
But when you're working with an out-of-the-box kitchen, sometimes your choices are limited.
So what we do have is what they call black-brown, which to me is so black.
I see black. If we have a non-custom, out-of-the-box option that suits our price point, that allows us to get both the black and the white.
Exactly.
So I'm liking these.
We can also save with pre-finished floors. As design team member Lindsay gathers samples, I'm devising a way to extend our black and white theme.
You could actually create a pattern.
Right.
So what I was wondering is, you get where I'm going?
Now I
See
get
the
where you're
stripes on my
going, like
sweater?
one
Light, dark.
white board, one dark board.
What if you actually did 3 boards or 4 boards?
Yeah.
You said, yeah, not very enthusiastically.
No, I think it's a very cool idea, but I would be more inclined, in the context of our high contrast kitchen, to not do a high contrast installation.
So how do you feel about that?
That I like. It'll have a more even tone when it's installed. But your other idea I liked.
We'll put my idea on the back burner.
I think this will be really nice looking.
We've sealed up the outside of Carlene's house, and now for the inside. Victorian houses can be drafty old things. With the walls all opened up, now's the time to upgrade the insulation. Finally, with all the infrastructure work done, we've got the kitchen to a place where all the fun stuff can begin. Like the backsplash, where I'm after drama.
That looks heavy. You want me to karate chop those?
Tommy's challenged me to come up with something to tie our black and white theme together and save precious dollars in the process. Game on!
As it turns out, each of these is exactly 18 inches.
Standard backsplash height.
These strips are under $15 a square foot, whereas the mosaics are $25 a square foot.
Yeah.
Of course, then we need some mosaic, but I'm using mosaic here just as accents.
Yeah.
Which one do you prefer?
I like that better. It's more dynamic. It's 3 different thicknesses. You're getting 100% on the project. I think you should be thrilled with that.
Thank you very much.
At Carlene's, the black and white floors go down. So far, we've been dealing with lots of hard surfaces. Now we're softening it up with fabrics. Black and white or color?
That's not black and white, but it is a lot of fun. I think for a kitchen, we should focus on practical. So it has to be washable. What do you like about this one?
The yellow is nice.
Coral?
No. Flamingos? Hell no.
Hugging.
Hugging?
Irving.
Irving.
Hi, Irving, you're kind of fun and jazzy. So here are options. We've got some with color and some that are entirely black and white.
Yeah.
What's your thought?
I feel like I want to reinforce with the black and white.
This long, narrow space needs a strong statement to tie the lounge to the rest of the kitchen. Black and white drapes will do that.
You gotta take it all the way.
You need that anchor at the end.
Okay, so get rid of the colors. So since we're in the kitchen, are we grapes and pomegranates?
That's my favorite.
There you go. Done.
And to give the new island some vintage character, how about cladding it with an old door?
That would totally work.
But I don't think it's wide enough.
24 inches. Wait a second, what's this?
That's stunning.
It's also
You
kind
okay?
of heavy. Almost 28 inches.
Yeah.
We'd still need to build it up a little bit with a baseboard.
Right.
However, this would be the exact right size for the end panel. And then, is there another one?
I think so.
In luck.
So now, on the back side of the island where the seating's gonna be, we can use 2 panels together. What's the price?
$375 for the pair.
Well, that's a lot of paneling.
You couldn't have these made for that.
I kind of like the bit of texture that they have on them.
This is totally it.
can't believe we found our panels. That's
I know.
awesome.
Very good.
Should we add lighting to our finds for today?
We've installed pot lights for overall illumination. In the lounge, we'll go for a casual hanging fixture. For the vintage-inspired island, we're trying pendants of a similar era, black and white and looking mighty fine.
I love that kind of fixture.
They'll have good clearance too, hanging about 48 inches above the island.
You could actually put a spotlight bulb that shone down and it would radiate through that clear pressed glass at the bottom.
I think they're extremely charming.
Now we're gonna go back right back in.
Get
And
your
we'll also take the lights.
credit card back out.
The pendants have traditional appeal. To top off the island, we're looking for something to jibe with the Victorian vibe. Natural stone fits the bill.
I have to say I really, really like this moon white.
Why do you like it?
Well, it just has more movement, it's more dynamic, it's a little more busy than the Carrera.
And so is that your choice? Moon white is where you want to go over the more black options?
I think so.
Okay, so it's no longer black and white. We've gone into shades of gray.
Yeah.
With all this black and white, we need some color. And to keep it fresh and bright, how about a lovely shade of yellow? Hope Carlene likes it.
That's interesting. I was not expecting yellow. I was expecting white.
Isn't black and white a bit more tasty when it's got some color added in?
I like that.
Now we're back on track.
It has lots of dynamism, it's very vivid, it's like Carlene.
I hope my cabinetry will be white upper cabinets and dark lower cabinets.
Then I am her fairy godmother. I'm gonna wave my wand, and she is going to get her wish. And one thing I know she's going to love is our island with its antique door panels.
Oh, we're looking good in here.
Looks great.
It's black and white and ready all over. Can we take a moment?
The last time I visited with Lindsay,
Yellow.
wow, it is a lot of yellow. Now that the floors are revealed and we have all of our cabinetry installed,
It's black and white with a little bit of honey.
it's a perfect happy medium.
Okay, so they've cut down this door, which
Doors
is good.
look great.
If we add a baseboard,
Yeah,
it will tie in with the look of the rest of the kitchen.
absolutely.
If we put the corbels on, then it can
Frame.
all get painted out. Then we'll have the support that we need for the projection of our countertop.
Love it.
We make it sound so easy.
It's very easy because all we have to do is say, take it away, Greg and Chris.
The experts do make it look easy, but meshing new materials with vintage elements has to be done precisely, or else it'll look like a total mashup. Right, cabinets are in. Time to start thinking about the lounge area. And we need to be cost conscious.
Chairs for days.
Chairapalooza. See a chair you like?
It's a bit too overtly Grandma Victoriana, don't you think? This
How do you
one looks
feel?
great.
Comfortable?
This is really comfortable.
Does it need the seat cushion?
It does, but the seat cushion itself needs a recovering.
It's got like this wraparound feel to it. It's got a little bit of flex.
Did you see the price of it?
Oh, I don't just love it, I'm mad about it.
It's $99.
Yeah, so what? We can have a little seating grouping against one wall,
Yeah.
and then we can have an upholstered piece on the other wall.
And add a splash of color and pattern with throw pillows.
I think it's out of stock.
No, Tommy. Turns out we're in the wrong aisle. Meanwhile, back at the house, things are rolling along with the installation of the budget-friendly backsplash.
We are this close to being done, and then we can load in all the pretty stuff. So John is cutting all of the pieces to assemble our backsplash, and Bill is measuring not once but twice, because if you're putting in a pattern, you need to think about where it's gonna stop and start and where best to center it. So the rule for a decorative backsplash or a patterned backsplash, especially one with stripes, is make sure you measure a few times to figure out how it's gonna run before you start installing it.
Very nice. And here's a new twist for a faucet.
I'm so excited. This is the first time we've ever used a white faucet. It has a sprayed finish. It's not your standard metallic. It's something a little bit different, but it still has really traditional styling, so I think it's gonna work brilliantly in this kitchen.
With the island countertop in, we are getting ever so close to the finish line. But a key member of our team seems to be running a little behind.
Oh my gosh.
Well, it's truly been a group effort to take this old kitchen and turn it into this. This kitchen brings together the best of an old house because it has traditional roots. It has lots of traditional styling details, including some architectural elements that are drawn from another 100-year-old building. But then it also has a sense of high impact color that we get from the yellow. And that brings in our client who wanted a kitchen that was high impact.
Tommy and Sarah actually captured my essence in that kitchen.
She has exuberance and fun and a great attitude, and this is a happy space for a happy person.
If you want something that is timeless and classic, make sure that all of your fixed elements are as neutral and as basic as possible, such as the floors, the cabinetry, the counters, the backsplash. All of those high investment elements are black or white. And then you can give it a more contemporary update with an accent of color.
At first I was like, yellow, but then when I saw it all together, I can't imagine it another color.
It's just on the walls and in a couple of decorative pillows in our lounge area. If she decides to repaint her walls, she can completely change her kitchen. Weekend project.
The key to using a strong color like black is knowing where to stop. And I think it would have been too much, too heavy, and too strong a statement to use dark counters everywhere. So we chose to lighten up the range wall and the peninsula by using a white stone material, and then went for a blend of black and white, which resulted in something a little bit gray for the island. This way, the island gets to be the showpiece that it is, and the rest of the counters are done in a hard-wearing, easy care, easy to clean material. The biggest challenge in this kitchen was trying to figure out how to get the island in. So what we focused on was first outfitting the range wall elevation, next the island, while maintaining the desired flow through the kitchen. That's why we ended up with 2 tall pantries pulled off to the side so you can still get in and around the island.
It had been a part of the dialogue that we had been confronted with this very long wall. So what we really wanted to do was break it up a bit and provide the same kind of balance that we provided everywhere else in the kitchen. In this case, between our 2 pantry cupboards, we added a mirror so that when you're viewing this kitchen as a whole, you don't just see white cabinetry to your right, you also see it reflected on your left.
When you're looking at backsplash options, you'll notice that there are options to go white and options to go black, but there aren't a whole lot of options that marry the two. That's where you can have some fun by mixing and matching, combining, and making your own graphic statement.
It is amazing.
It's one of Sarah's favorite things to design, and it's one of my favorite things to sit back and watch her design.
There was still a little bit of room left for a lounge, but if you're short on space, you need to choose tailored, streamlined pieces. We've got a love seat with the narrowest of arms, so you still get maximum seating space. Then we've introduced a pair of chairs. These chairs are actually black rattan, and since the room opens out onto a garden area, it seems only natural that we would take a little bit of inspiration from the outdoors and bring it in. This kitchen may look too beautiful to use, however, it's not. All of the surfaces are hard-wearing, they're durable, and this is a kitchen that is designed to last. Because if you think it's good just to stand there and look at, imagine how great it would be to cook in it.
I hope she has me over. I actually live in Carlene's neighborhood. I'd come by for a glass of wine with that girl. I like her.
You have made one of my biggest dreams come true, and thank you guys so very much.
Right out of university, Nicole bought her first home.
I've been living there for 5 years, and it needs an update.
She loves her condo's downtown location, but this place has to grow up in more ways than one.
Wow, this place is huge.
Enough with the sarcasm.
It's little.
It is little. Obviously, there's more to it, but not on this level, and this is what we're doing.
So this is it.
This is it.
You've got a white denim sofa beside a black leather chair
Basically brought in furniture from school, from my parents' house.
with an accent of metal, a touch of glass.
Things that I had in my dorm and in my university apartment should not still be with me 10 years later.
There's eclectic and then there's disjointed.
Good mixes and bad mixes.
Right.
Strange brews.
Strange brews. This is a strange brew.
It's just blah.
What is this?
Don't know, don't care, because guess what? It's going.
I think it's cardboard. Kitchens don't get much more basic than this.
Oh, I was gonna use the word cheap.
To do a proper overhang, you need 14 inches. I've got about 7. It's totally useless.
It's all very basic and neutral.
It totally lacks woo, like it has no zing.
I'm in this space which just smacks of being put up in 5 minutes
Yeah.
with no attention to detail. Throw down a floor, whip in some counters, you know, and spray the popcorn on the ceiling. Why do you do that?
You and I know how to fix this.
You and I know how to call somebody to fix it.
That's what I
Let's
meant.
be honest. We're not doing it.
And I would like something that suits my young professional lifestyle, something a bit more elegant and sophisticated.
I've seen enough. Rip it out. Oh, that ceiling. Ugh. There is absolutely no reason why a place that is small on square feet can't be huge on style.
Right, that thing is really boring. But she's a really interesting girl, so I think that what we could do is actually take her from girl to sophisticated lady.
Lady.
And give her some things that are a little bit more chic and a little bit more stylish and that are lifetime purchases in terms of furniture.
If you're gonna up the ante on the furnishings, I think you also need to up the ante on the space overall.
Agreed. I mean, that kitchen is made of paper. Like it's...
I want to use the vertical space.
Yes.
And I want it to be polished, a hit of pretty, but not fussy.
I don't want it to go from sophisticated all the way to old lady.
Right.
So here's our creative brief. We want to upgrade those dreadful builder basic finishes, come up with multifunctional small space solutions, and give Nicole grown-up furnishings to reflect her maturing tastes.
I got rid of all of my furniture, my couch, my bar stools, my chairs, my tables, everything.
With the space emptied out, we can start getting rid of those builder basics.
Doesn't exactly look bigger. Feels like the walls are coming in.
I know. It looks...
Which means making this space feel larger is our first challenge. We want to figure out a better design for the breakfast bar and something clever for the living dining area.
Built-in solutions in small spaces are always going to be the most... Are you okay there?
You know what we're playing right now? This is design charades.
You do need a place to do this.
If we did this little projecting peninsula here,
Yeah.
could this function a little bit tete-a-tete for dinner and also maybe a little bit of
Laptop.
laptop?
Well, sure.
So we're putting in a dual-purpose peninsula table here with a wall of built-in storage behind it. But before we can decide what's happening here, here, and here, we need to find some inspiration. Well, these look inspiring. They might just work as legs for our built-in table.
There are 2 of them. Could we just slice them off at the height that we need, reattach the little base to wherever we need it, and use those? Aren't they elegant?
So just chop them and reattach.
Totally. Those are our legs, 100%.
Okay, Fancy Pants, climb on up and grab the other one. Do you need a hand? Grab it, don't break it.
Our hunt for furniture gave us a direction. Oh, suddenly we were dreaming of all things French.
It would be stunning sprayed. Like we could spray it white or navy.
No, keep it as is.
It's a little bit minty.
She really loves pretty. She loves feminine. She loves soft. How about we go for lighter, neutral colors
Yeah.
with a hint of something that is a bit more feminine, like some aqua.
Okay.
Tommy might not be sure, but a minty green color palette will be perfectly demure. So So design team members Michael and Lindsay are off to look at fabric.
What's mint? What's aqua? What's toothpaste color? I don't know.
That's mint.
Too sheer, maybe.
I have total confidence in what she's doing.
She's got nothing to worry about.
We want her to be a little more grown up. We don't want her to be 88. Okay?
We can have a little accent of a shimmery minty green silk if we want.
Yeah.
We've got a faux ostrich aqua vinyl. The green cheetah here. Green cheetah? I say yes. Back to the floor. We want to add something classy,
I know, you were thinking this one.
but maybe not minty.
It's called Eleuthera Ash.
Looks like Eleuthera ass to me.
How do you feel about acacia? No glue, no nails, just click and enjoy. Did you want to just click and enjoy?
I like that. I actually like the lighter floor better, but I can tell that you like the darker floor better.
Floor.
I know.
You just choose it to be contrarian.
No, I actually think it's the better floor. I do. Let's ask the design team. Let's have a vote.
Fine.
Thank you.
Let's see.
I like this one.
I like this one.
I like this one.
I pick this one.
So obviously this one.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. It's this one. What? It's a tie? Okay, we need to poll a larger audience.
This one.
I'm going for the lighter one.
I like this one. And I love this one.
I choose this one.
I definitely choose this one.
This one, hands down.
I like that one.
It's not a tie anymore, like I said. It's this one. With the floor sorted out, we need furniture. Something sophisticated Nicole can have for a lifetime. Starting with the living room. I want a custom designed sofa for the far wall. Not too wide, yet deep and loungy. So I brought in a piece from my office for inspiration.
Here's what I want. I want to take this chair and I want to turn it into a sofa. But a sofa not like this chair. So I kind of want it to look like this, but absolutely nothing like this. Okay?
Sure.
Sure.
Here, let's see if this will help.
I want to take this arm and I want to elevate it up so it connects to the back. So I want it to be pretty, I want it to be deep, loungy, comfortable, elegant. I need this chair to become a sofa that says it all.
I think I got the message.
You got it?
And besides our sofa that says it all,
What about these chairs?
we're looking for chairs for the built-in table.
The caning on the backs is in good shape. The seats, not so much.
The seats are in desperate need of repair. How
Couldn't
much
you
are
just
they?
upholster over this, though?
Yes, please.
Like, instead of repairing the caning, wouldn't you just upholster this seat and have a nice...
I'm
don't
gonna
sit
try
there.
and assess the comfort, okay? Woo! I don't find them super comfortable.
It's basically like sitting on the toilet, okay? There's a big hole in the middle of that.
That's what it felt like.
Yes.
Okay. What I like is that by your suggestion of adding the upholstery,
Yeah.
you add a little bit more comfort. One for me, one for you.
Got it.
Success! We've just got to send them off for painting and a new seat. Now, how about something with a little twinkle?
I'm definitely a girly girl. I'd like maybe a bit of sparkle, some elegant touches, maybe like a chandelier.
What about these?
I mean, this one looks like it came out of a ballroom.
I know.
That one looks like it belongs in a disco. This one here looks like it fell down the stairs. It's definitely a no to the red, green, yellow, blue number, or check out the green porcelain one over there.
Wow.
And this has sparkly restraint.
Well, this is English, and that's continental. So
Right.
they're wild and crazy gang. This is English. They're a little more restrained.
Proper.
Bit more buttoned up.
Bit more proper.
It may not be French, but it is still fabulous.
It is $650.
For $650, you're not finding that new.
No.
Should we
Lighting?
have asked for a better price?
Check.
Lighting, check. That was a good find.
Yeah.
Ooh, I love the table.
Solid, metal, gilded. I love this table.
Okay, so I'm going back in again to pay.
This elegant antique mirror is a perfect add to Nicole's grown-up furnishings list.
This is not a $300 mirror that you may grow tired of. This is a statement piece.
And at 7 feet high, it's a great way to make Nicole's small space seem bigger. Finally, to complete our lighting plan, we found pendants to hang in the kitchen. Beneath those pendants, we need to deal with that dysfunctional breakfast bar.
To do a proper overhang, you need 14 inches. I've got about 7. It's totally useless.
I want to extend the counter so you can sit comfortably at it, plus make the stools smaller and more elegant. But Tommy wants to get rid of it.
I'm not a big fan of the breakfast bar. I'm actually not a big fan of breakfast.
I think eliminating the breakfast bar and the stools would be a huge mistake.
If we've got seating at our little peninsula, at our tete-a-tete dining for 2 area, could you not just walk the 10 feet over there and sit there instead of sitting at the breakfast bar? Just saying.
How can you not love it?
Sorry, Tommy, but seating is critical to this small space. I'm sending an idea off to the cabinet makers and we'll see what they come up with. As for those cane chairs we found for the peninsula table,
It's basically like sitting on the toilet, okay?
well,
What happened to our chairs, Michael?
I went to the painters to check in on the progress, and as you know, he was supposed to remove the caning from the seat. It was damaged. But he went ahead and removed all of it.
The whole reason we chose them was because they were light and the caning was sort of a nice detail, a little bit graphic.
I'm thinking maybe we cut our losses.
Chair, what rhymes with chair? Nightmare.
okay, so we have to start over on the chairs. And then there's a little issue with our choice to go green.
I don't like that color.
Not a big fan of green, huh?
No.
Yes, and that green cheetah fabric, it's only going on a cushion, so how bad can that be? Back to the chairs. It's all hands on deck with our design team. Mairead's off to find replacement chairs for that peninsula table.
So Sarah said she wanted cane back, an upholstered seat. I think this is a great option, which I'm going to show her. And it's $65 and they have 2 of them.
What do you think of these chairs that Mairead found? I'm interested. I'm curious to know what your thoughts are.
I think that they're cute. I think the handle's sort of fun, but I'm concerned that the cane is broken on all of them.
It's a not quite there for me.
So there you go. No to the chairs.
Another search party heads on yet another chair hunt. Meanwhile, I have a simple, fabulous idea for the kitchen.
For all of the cabinetry,
Yeah.
what if we took a standard shaker profile door,
Yeah.
paint it, and then look what you could do. These are framing fillets. So, like normally, you would put them here. But instead of putting them in a picture frame, what if you put them in a cabinetry frame? You could just order some fillet, not fillet, some fillet from your framer. Order some framer's fillet, and you know, give a little glam.
I like that idea.
I love that idea. I'm so glad you like my idea. Okay, there you go. Sold. Give me that back. Let's go.
So the kitchen cabinets get installed. In go those fancy fillets. And the wider counter's built to give enough room for our custom-built bar stools. Now, what about that sofa for the living room?
Oh, look at that.
When is a chair not a chair? When it's a sofa.
What is that sandy sofa? Look at that. Oh, yeah. That's ample for lounging. Do you want to approve it?
I totally want to approve it. I think it looks fantastic.
Oh. What do you think about this as a cute little stool?
Very cute.
Now, do you feel better about having stools in our kitchen?
Look at how amazing that is. You fax one of these, and out comes one of these.
It's like magic.
It's a bit of a dusty environment here.
How are you feeling about the stools at the bar now?
Pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'll have a gin and tonic.
See? He likes it.
It's not bad.
The stools are finished and upholstered with a faux ostrich aqua vinyl. Back in Nicole's condo, that 7-foot mirror gets installed in the living room, as do the legs and top of the peninsula table. And Michael arrives back at the office with 2 more chair options to fit underneath it.
More chairs?
Why do I feel like I've been here before?
You have been.
At least the hole is on purpose this time.
Right.
Remember our first chairs?
What do we think of this? Well, this is not uncomfortable.
No.
And this one is horrifically uncomfortable.
Okay, so eliminate yours right off the bat.
What do you think we're gonna pay for this approximately, for this pair?
Well, for the pair, we can pay $300.
So realistically, we'd be looking to spray it and reupholster it, at which point the price is going up and up and up. This is becoming a veritable odyssey for chairs. We don't have a chair, that's our problem.
It took us 5 tries to actually get the chairs.
I found this pair of chairs less than $75 each. They've got good traditional lines, they're in great shape, so that's it. Case closed, we finally found them.
Oh my gosh, stunning.
You want transformation? This is it. We're talking unrecognizable from before to after. Our adventure in green started with the find of a beautiful French console, and now look what it's turned into.
I would have never chosen mint green, but I love it.
If you're renovating a small space, the most important element to focus on is how best to use every single, not square foot, square inch that you have available.
We've got this cabinet here.
This, which connects to this cabinet. Hello?
Storage was huge for me. I didn't think you could fit any more storage in there.
I'll tell you something about that breakfast bar. I didn't want it, and Sarah thought it was absolutely necessary.
I think it's useful, I think it is appealing to buyers, and I think what you can do is create stools that are just a little perch, something that tucks neatly away. I know that if this was my place, they'd be in constant use.
Decoratively, the most clever thing, hands down, was that little fillet idea that Sarah had for putting in our shaker panel cabinets.
By adding a simple silver leaf fillet, we were able to turn this kitchen into something that seems more sophisticated. Our original agenda was to just skim the stippled ceiling and get rid of it.
We decided to drop the ceiling so that we could have a blank slate to create whatever kind of lighting plan we wanted.
You can immediately tell when you walk in that these floors are natural wood. Thank goodness the vote went in my favor. Otherwise, I might have had to just ignore them all and do what I wanted. I have to admit, now that the final chairs are in place, I think that they're better than what we started with. By installing a peninsula, we didn't take up the extra space that would have been required for a freestanding table.
I love my new furniture. I love the couch. That's the most comfortable piece of furniture ever.
It is possible to have it all when living in a small space, as long as you focus on streamlined, small-scale proportions. Mirror, mirror on the wall. We've got one on every wall.
I saw that big mirror and I actually just started crying. I thought it was spectacular.
A few strategically placed mirrors will open up and lighten up a very, very small space.
By installing antiqued mirror below the counter where the stools are and in behind the open shelves, it creates just a glint of reflection.
I bawled my eyes out because it was so beautiful.
Tears are like the best reaction you can hope for as a decorator. Tears are good. We like tears. The lesson that I will leave you all with is this. Don't live with less just because you live in a small space.
Basic is fine, but standout is superb.
It's like sitting on somebody's big toe. That's what it looks like. No offense to the designer. Actually, wait a minute. Total offense to the designer. Isn't it like a big butt? You know what's nice about these, though? There are 2 of them. We could each have one. One at my place, one at your place.
And then we could text each other and say, are you
sitting on your butt? I am actually sitting on my butt right now.
Oh, stop. This is just ridiculous.